Have you ever noticed something a little odd? The other night, I sat down after a long day. Nothing dramatic, just the usual mental noise. Too many thoughts, a bit of stress still hanging around. And before I even realized it, my cat was there. No sound, no big entrance, just suddenly on the couch, sitting a few inches away like he'd been there the whole time. He didn't do anything, didn't climb on me, didn't demand attention, didn't even look that interested. Just a quiet presence, a slow blink. Then he settled in like this was exactly where he planned to be. And here's the part that caught me off guard. A few minutes later, nothing had changed, but somehow everything felt different. My breathing slowed, my shoulders dropped. The noise in my head just softened. And the strange part? He didn't do anything to make that happen. No effort, no intention, no comfort mode activated. So now the question becomes, what exactly just changed? Because if you've ever had that same moment where your cat just being nearby makes everything feel a little calmer, you're not imagining it. And once you understand what's actually happening in that moment, it becomes a lot more interesting than it looks. 1. The wait, why do I feel better moment. Let's start with something familiar. Your cat isn't doing anything obvious. No tricks, no interaction. Sometimes they're not even looking at you. They're just there, curled up like a warm question mark on the sofa. And yet your nervous system reacts like something has shifted. But here's the part most people miss. Calm doesn't always come from interaction. Sometimes it comes from absence of demand. Think about it for a second. Most things in your environment ask something of you. Notifications, conversations, tasks. Even silence can feel like it's waiting for you to do something. But a cat doesn't ask. They don't require performance. They don't expect explanations. They simply occupy space in a way that feels unbothered. And your brain reads that as safety. Not because the cat is protecting you, but because nothing in that moment feels urgent. But that's only the surface layer. Because underneath that quiet feeling, something even more interesting is happening in how humans and cats share emotional space. And that brings us to the next layer. 2. The nervous system mirror effect. Here's where things get fascinating. When humans are around calm animals, something subtle happens called emotional co-regulation. You don't consciously think your way into relaxation. Your nervous system starts to match the rhythm of what's around you. And cats are extremely consistent. Slow breathing, minimal movement, soft posture, long pauses between actions. Even when they're alert, they rarely broadcast urgency. So your body picks up on that pattern. It's a bit like sitting next to someone who refuses to panic, no matter what the situation is. Eventually, your system starts asking, "Oh, are we not panicking? Okay then." Now add something else. Cats don't escalate emotion. They don't hype things up. They de-escalate by default. So even when life feels noisy, your cat becomes a kind of emotional low signal in the room. Not fixing anything, not solving anything, just lowering the intensity of everything around them by existing calmly within it. And that leads to a bigger question. Why does that presence feel so safe even when nothing is actively happening? That's where predictability comes in. 3. Predictability creates safety. Think about your cat's behavior throughout the day. They nap, they observe, they move slowly, they repeat routines. There's not a lot of chaos in their emotional expression, and the brain loves that. Because one of the fastest ways humans feel stress is unpredictability. Things that shift too fast, environments that feel uncertain. Cats, by contrast, are almost rhythm-based creatures. You start noticing patterns, same sleeping spots, same observation windows, same slow walks through familiar paths. And your brain quietly logs that as stable environment. Even their sudden bursts of energy don't feel threatening because they're short, contained, and always followed by long periods of stillness. So instead of your brain staying on alert, it relaxes into expectation. Nothing surprising is likely to happen. And here's the twist. That predictability doesn't just feel calming, it actually lowers cognitive load. Your mind stops scanning for what's next and starts resting in nothing urgent is happening right now. But there's another layer of calm that most people notice without realizing why. And it's coming from something even simpler. 4. The sound and movement factor. Let's talk about one of the most overlooked reasons cats feel calming. Movement and sound. Cats move softly. No heavy footsteps. No sharp motion. Even their jumps feel controlled, almost measured. And then there's purring. That low, steady vibration isn't just cute background noise. It sits in a frequency range that humans often perceive as soothing. Not magical, not mystical, just physically consistent and rhythmically stable. It blends into the environment instead of interrupting it. Compare that to most everyday sounds: alarms, voices, traffic, notifications, all of which demand attention. A cat's presence rarely demands anything from your auditory system. Instead, it becomes part of the background rhythm. And visually, cats don't overwhelm your focus either. Their gaze is soft. Their blinking is slow. Even when they stare at you, it's not intense in the human sense. It's steady, quiet observation. And your brain interprets that as non-threatening attention, which is rare, because most attention in life feels like evaluation. But a cat's attention feels like neutrality. And that brings us to something deeper about how they occupy space with us. 5. They turn a house into a safe zone. Have you ever noticed how a cat changes the feeling of a room just by being in it? They pick spots. They settle. They claim small areas as predictable rest points. Over time, your brain starts associating those spaces with calm behavior. It's subtle conditioning. Sofa equals quiet cat. Bed equals sleeping cat. Window equals watching cat. And each association reinforces the idea that nothing chaotic usually happens here. So even before you consciously notice your cat, your body already feels the pattern of calm. There's also something grounding about sharing space with an animal that is fully present but not performing. They're not trying to impress you, not trying to fix you, not trying to extract anything from you. They're just there. And that creates a rare kind of social safety. No expectations, no demands, just shared space. Which leads to one final layer that ties everything together. Because the calming effect isn't just about the cat. It's about what they signal to your brain about your environment and yourself. Quick note, your cat just informed me this is usually the moment people start realizing they've been quietly underestimating how calming they actually are. So go ahead and click that subscribe button. 6. Social buffering effect. Humans are wired to feel safer in the presence of non-threatening life forms. It's called social buffering. The idea that simply being near a calm companion can reduce stress responses. And cats fit that role in a very unique way. They're not loud like dogs, not demanding like constant interaction, not passive like objects. They exist in a middle space, aware, alive, but emotionally quiet. So your brain reads them as a stabilizing presence. And here's the interesting part. That stability often reflects back onto you. You slow down because they are slow. You soften because they are soft. You pause because nothing around you is pushing you forward. It's not that your cat removes stress. It's that they interrupt escalation. They create small moments where nothing intensifies. And in a world full of constant stimulation, that absence of escalation feels like relief. So when you think your cat is calming you down, it might be simpler than that. They're just giving your nervous system a moment to stop reacting. So next time they settle near you, notice what changes. Not just in them, but in you. The room doesn't get quieter because they do something dramatic. It gets quieter because nothing needs to escalate. And that brings us back to the beginning. That moment where they just show up. No effort, no explanation. They're not fixing your stress. They're just making space where it doesn't grow. And sometimes, that's enough. Anyway, I should probably go check on my cat because I just realized he's been calming the house by aggressively sitting on the Wi-Fi router. Talk to you next time. FurEver.